Hello guys. So this is another day for Bitcoin. We are going to look at what's happening in the market. As we can see here, initially, we have a weekly price action on TradingView. As we can see, after quite a bit of bull run here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 week we saw positive volume, meaning the closing price was higher than the opening price. And then we saw a massive drop after Bitcoin reached $10,000, even though many of us probably have thought that this bull run will continue. But as we can see in the weekly chart, normally Bitcoin's price go down after a massive bull run, and the bull run sometimes lasts only short period of times, maybe a few weeks. So the biggest bull run we have seen here is that was November 13. That was 13th November 2017, and this was the biggest bull run that Bitcoin has seen, that we find here on the weekly chart of Bitcoin's price. And then, as you can see, we had a huge bear market for a long-standing bear market from 2017 up until 2019. And Bitcoin enthusiasts want Bitcoin to actually pass this all-time high. So the last all-time high that we had was $19,889. So when will Bitcoin pass or cross that all-time high and create a new all-time high? So if we look at the logarithmic chart of Bitcoin, so if we look at the logarithmic chart of Bitcoin, so right now I'm looking at the Bitcoin US dollar Binance perpetual future market. Let me go to Bitcoin US dollar Bitstamp price actions, which has more open, high, low, close candle bars. And just looking at this price action from before 2012 up until now, we can clearly see an upward trend that I have discussed before. So this is the trend we see here almost. So if I draw it down there, maybe this line is more realistic, kind of touching this support line, this support here. So this line is acting like a support, I can say, and this broke down here. We can take a look at some exponential moving average. I can activate the visibility of it. So as you can see here, maybe I can remove some of the exponential moving average. So this also has a Bollinger Band. So let's remove all of it. And then only look at the 200 weekly moving average. So everybody talks about 200 weekly moving average, which is this green line. And as you can see, Bitcoin price was pretty much above this 200 weekly moving average, and people expect that this trend will continue. So if we add some other moving averages, like 100 moving averages, 100 weekly moving average, because I'm on the weekly chart, and maybe also a short-term weekly, so 8-week moving average. So 8 weeks should be 2-month moving average. So this line here this cyan colored line here is 2-month moving average. Because this is for a short time frame, this fluctuates more. And a simple strategy that you can follow is that when a short moving average, like the short time frame moving average, in this case, the 8-weekly moving average is crossing a longer time frame moving average, in this case, for example, 100 weekly moving average or 200 weekly moving average. When the cyan line is above this white line or the green line, this tells us that the market is in an upward trend compared to, for example, here when it's closing down, when it's going crossing down this 100 moving average, the market is in a downward trend. Now, this is an overall view of what happened over since 2012 up until 2020. That's 20 years, and we can compare it with S&P, for example, and see in terms of percentage, and Nasdaq and Dow 30 in terms of percentage, we can see that Bitcoin's performance was better comparatively with S&P and Dow Jones. So if we look at the chart here, let's take a look. If we look at the percentage chart here, Bitcoin was really, because we are looking Bitcoin compared to S&P and Dow Jones, Bitcoin's performance is huge because we are looking from 2012. So if I make it in a shorter time frame, let's say we want to see, it actually confused me a little because that is meteoric. Get here. So basically, if you have bought Bitcoin back in 2009, you would be super happy now. But even if you are late in the game, let's say you bought Bitcoin about October 2017, then you would still be doing pretty good. But let's say you started Bitcoin in 2018, compared to that, the performance is fluctuating because it's kind of late in the game. But we as Bitcoin enthusiasts, we know that Bitcoin in future has the potential of being more valuable because Bitcoin's inflation rate is constantly, every 4 years, Bitcoin's inflation rate is being halved down. Let's take a look at what's happening in terms of daily time frame. So in daily time frame, Bitcoin already recovered this loss here, and Bitcoin has crossed 10,000. Let me take the S&P and Nasdaq and Dow Jones down here. So Bitcoin has, and let's change it to, so Bitcoin has reached $10,000 mark, but since then Bitcoin has broke down. There was a dump here, massive dump actually. We can see high volume, which is red volume. A lot of people sold and made profit here, and Bitcoin's price went down, and then Bitcoin is price again recovering. But we can clearly see from March, when the stock market, when the coronavirus effect has been experienced everywhere, that there was a 40% drop here, and a lot of people have lost a lot of money. Then we can take a look what happened in S&P and what happened in Dow Jones here. We can see even in the S&P's case, that was a massive drop, 20%, which you don't expect. In Bitcoin's case, we know that Bitcoin is a new asset and there's a lot of hype there or a lot of new speculators there. But the fact that S&P is going down 20% over only 20 days, which actually makes you skeptical even about the traditional financial market that we have. And now, as we can see here, the stock market is doing again good, which also people are skeptical about is that the real economy is not doing that well. There are many millions of people unemployed. Why is the stock market doing well? And Bitcoin, I believe, is acting in a correlated fashion with the stock market right now. But Bitcoin sometimes is uncorrelated, as we can see. It kind of decouples from the S&P here, and we can see some decoupling here too. Okay, now this is the 4-hour time frame that we can see. Let me take the moving average out and remove the S&P, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones here, and maybe just keep only the longer time frame so that we can see a trend here. So that's the 4-hour. Now this is 200-hour moving average because I'm in a hourly time frame. So in a simplistic way, we can say when the price action or candle bars are above this green line, we can see an upward trend, and when something like when here the candle bars go below the green line, which is in this case 200 hourly moving average, that means we are in a downward trend. As we can see right now, even though Bitcoin's price is fluctuating, so if we look at since May, so since 13th May, Bitcoin's price is going has taken an upward movement again, and Bitcoin is right now testing the $10,000 price line here, and maybe after a few actions, sometimes we have this kind of trend is that there's a squeezing factor. So Bitcoin's price kind of like price sort of squeezes like this, and then it starts moving upward. So after squeezing, it can either go up, we call it breakout, or either can go down. And normally you would like to see which direction the price movement is happening. So you don't want to you don't want to probably invest before that. So, but at the same time, my personal observation is that Bitcoin traders make more money, or maybe even the stock market in general, make more money through shorting, meaning like it takes very, let me remove this, choose this, okay. So what I mean by that is that it can be both. That's why a market is always a chaotic system. It's very hard to find a very reliable pattern that you can follow and continue making profit. So you'll have to always adapt to the market. So as we can see here, for example, this rise, as you can see, we experienced in April 2020, and that was literally in a single day 25% up. Then a lot of people shorted, price fell down here, But then again, here on the other hand, everybody was euphoric. So when we reached the $10,000 mark, and then there was a huge price dump of almost 15%, even though um, it did not wipe away all the gains we have made here. So all the gains we have made over this 10-day period, that's why we have an upward trend, which tells that maybe Bitcoin's price is in general going up, and maybe after this huge crash in March, we are in an upward trend, or but we can still, probably it's too early to say that whether we are still in a bull market before for that to say. That's why I have put this horizontal green line here. If we cannot cross this, if we cannot cross this line here, we cannot for sure say that we are still in a bull market, because we need to create upper high. As far as we can tell, that we had a lower high, which is not a bullish sign, which is a bearish sign in some way. At the same time, we have seen more volumes in red than in green. So it tells like a lot of people are taking profit, and uh, maybe the trend of traders, when they stop shorting it like this, which is probably not likely, because most traders they want to make money off, because they already have invested money. Anyway, so this is 1 hour time frame. Let's look at much shorter time frame, what's happening. 30-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame. So we can see overall upward trends. 15-minute time frame. So this is, I use this indicator that's called visible range indicator, VPVR, and this tells you, this kind of shows you which price area, which price zone had, which price zone, for example, this price zone has much more volume. Normally, as you can see, the price actually goes sideways. Once you reach those zones, price moves in a sideways fashion. For example, here we can see a sideways fashion movement. Here we can see a sideways fashion movement. And when you see there is not much volume, or there is not much activity, those are the zones you need to be very careful of, because those are the zones the price goes up or down very quickly. What happened in last 1 or 2 days, as we can see um, here, Bitcoin yesterday again has reached almost 9,731 or $9,800 mark. Of actually here, that is 19 May, that was $9,900 mark. And maybe we are all expecting that it will go up, but again Bitcoin's price went down. So Bitcoin has done it a couple times now. If I am in the 3-minute time frame now, so we can see, if I draw some horizontal lines, so Bitcoin tried 9,965, Bitcoin tried 9,945, Bitcoin tried 9,894. So a couple times Bitcoin tried to cross or reach the $10,000 mark, but then every time Bitcoin tried to cross $10,000, traders started taking their profit. But what it tells is that that is squeezing factor. So that's that triangle formation. So now we are in a triangle formation that I showed here. So this is the bottom of the triangle, and I can also draw another one, kind of like a triangle formation here. So if I draw, so sort of this triangle we're talking about. So at one point, Bitcoin will cross out of this triangle, or if we are not careful, Bitcoin can go down. So we'll have to see which movement, which direction it moves. Okay, let's take a look at now. Let me remove. Let's take a look at what's happening with other cryptocurrencies. So most of the time, most cryptocurrencies, they follow the trend of Bitcoin. So is this the case? Which cryptocurrency is performing better? So I have my watch list. The Binance, you can see. So let's look at our watch list. So we are at the mini time frame. Let's go to the hourly time frame maybe. So hourly time frame, we can see. So we are currently looking at what happened since this crash of March. Let me remove the visible range here, and then let's change percentage here. So I sorted all this uh, other cryptocurrencies that is on Binance, and we can see Steam on a time frame on this hourly time frame. We're looking. I think this change is daily changes, because if I change it to daily, it does not change. So I think those are daily changes. So Steam has performed really well. So we can quickly go to Steam. Yes, Steam has seen rise. Steam was experiencing, because Steam was having conflict with Hive because of Steam's takeover by that Chinese entrepreneur, and Steam has lost some confidence. Steam's community, a lot of Steam's community has moved towards Hive, which is a fork of Steam. Actually, I would like to see what's happening in Hive right now. Let me add that here. Hive BTC. So who is performing better? Okay. Oh, Hive actually is not performing yet. Hive actually performed really well around here when Steam performed relatively not that good. But then Hive is losing its steam again, and Steam is going up. So what's happening in IOXT? Nano is doing well. Actually, I like Nano back in those days. So now I'm at Nano. Maybe let's remove. We want to see with respect to Bitcoin how this cryptocurrency is performing. So I would like to add BTC USDT from Binance, and then we'll see how they're performing for an hourly time frame for since March. Okay, so that was the crash. So as we can see, cryptocurrency generally fluctuates even more than Bitcoins. So that can be upward fluctuation or downward, upward movement or downward movement, meaning like you can gain more or you can lose more also. So as you can see, Nano has outperformed Bitcoin in many ways. What about Matic? Almost similar. No, actually, sorry. I think I said the wrong way, because now the candles, the green candles here. So we're talking about these candles itself is the cryptocurrency. And this yellow line is the Bitcoin. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, Bitcoin has been performing better than other cryptocurrencies that we can check even in the coin market cap. Bitcoin is much more dominant now. So for almost all the cryptocurrency, yes. So this is the Matic cryptocurrency. Even though they have seen the rise, but Bitcoin has been outperforming all the other cryptocurrencies here, as we can see the yellow line. So we can see BNB, which is the Binance's cryptocurrency. Even BNB, basically, as we can see, it's completely reversed in some way. So it's kind of interesting how BNB and BTC almost going against each other. So some other cryptocurrency, for example, if I what's happening. Let's make sort with names. Algo BTC, which is the MIT's cryptocurrency that I really like. And Algo last one day it's down by 1%. But yes, it's also not performing as well as Bitcoin. So everybody is in the Bitcoin market now. Cryptocurrency is still just catching up. Normally, because when Bitcoin is stable relatively, that's when people speculate with other cryptocurrencies. But when Bitcoin's price itself is fluctuating much, people try to be away from other cryptocurrencies. And Doge, what's happening to Doge? Okay, Doge has less volumes compared to, what about EOS? EOS 1% down. Okay, Link has been doing pretty good actually. Um, yes, this is the yellow line that is Bitcoin, and the candles are the Link right now. I think people are talking about Link because here, as we can see, Link was this Link, as you can see, these candles here, this portion. I think people are talking about Link because of this area where Link was performing better than this yellow line, which is Bitcoin. But again, as you can see, Link went down here. Link went down here, and Bitcoin is again going up. So some others, nulls, MTL, ERL, OMG, Nano, Hot BTC. Again, let's see which Steam BTC, Nano, Storm, Kodi BTC, Lane BTC, they're all up. So cryptocurrencies, other cryptocurrencies relatively doing well. So we are seeing another, as you can see, we are seeing another relatively stable weekly was now we are in Bitcoin USD. Let's remove this and for 7 week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 we saw a red candle. Also 1 week and then again Bitcoin went up. Now we are seeing another red one, but clearly we can see upward trend. This is the update for now. Thank you, and we'll talk more about Bitcoin price action every day, and I will try to bring more insights and information about other cryptocurrencies as well. Thank you very much.